Hey everybody, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for this week in October 2012. Let me turn the TV down a little bit. I got the Walking Dead on TV. They're replaying the season premiere from last week, and I'm sitting here waiting for the next episode. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna go ahead and review these books. Okay, got several from DC and several from Marvel. I'm going to start with DC and end with Marvel, okay? This week was a pretty good week for comics, and finding a pick of the week was really tough. Really tough. But I made my choice, and now I'm going to stand by it, but I'll get to that when I get to it. We're going to start with DC. We're going to start with a book that damn near made pick of the week. We're going to start off with Batwoman number 13. I'm sure my good friend, the female, finger fucking female Fury at Tumblr, yes, that is her name. She's a friend of mine. I chat with her every chance I get. She's a real sweetheart, and follow her on Tumblr, and follow me on Tumblr, please. But I spoke to her about this, and we both agreed that it was awesome. Now, the one thing I did not like about this issue was that because of the Superman issue 13 preview at the end of this book, and at the end of almost damn near every DC book I read this week, reading this felt a little short. It's like I got to the end, and I kept wanting more story. And that was the only thing I didn't really like about this book. Because of the Superman preview, it felt short. But what I got in here was just awesome. It was good to see Batwoman and Wonder Woman work together for the first time. The first time I've seen them work together. And it's done magnificently. The very first page was just awesome. The way Kate is describing Diana's beauty. The way she's going into detail about it and everything. You kind of think that her lesbian sense, if you want to call it that, is tingling toward Diana, but at the very end she gives a cute little wink and a nod saying she misses her Mags, her current girlfriend. That was sweet. But the way she describes Diana is very well done. They're going through the maze and everything, trying to deal with this creature and everything. I'm not going to get too much into it, and I'm not going to spoil this book. All I'm going to say is it's more J.H. Williams III's goodness, both writing and in art, both in writing and in artwork. The artwork is simply flawless. It's nothing I haven't said before about the artwork. It'll be sad to see it go. I'll be sad to see it go. Excuse me. But still, very charming, very wonderfully done series. And thank God they're not doing the non-linear storytelling anymore. This is how a Batwoman book should be done. Very excellent work. I applaud DC for this. Next up, Birds of Prey number 13. Now, this was not actually supposed to be the cover of the book. I read on Tumblr that there was supposed to be a different cover to this, and I saw the rejected cover, and I actually liked that one better than this. But you take what you can get. Dwayne Straczynski is doing a magnificent job. Romano Molinar, probably butchered that name and I'm sorry, but this artwork is really good. Basically, Katana's going out for a food run. Starling wants her to go out for a food and a whiskey run. Awesome bitch. I love Starling. She's just an awesome bitch. And what's even better, her last name's Crawford, like mine. Fuck yes. Alright, yeah, but Katana is cornered by a bunch of fighters here, and her husband is taken away, and that's kind of like her. That's her weak spot. She acts like it weakens her. Well, that, and she took a pretty good ass whooping here, but it's like it just, the storytelling, the way the panels are done, it makes it look like that she's, you know, with or without the ass whooping she got, she looks like she's like physically weakened when she's not with her sword, which she believes is carrying the soul of her late husband. You know, and that's all well and good, but I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping she's just weakened from the beating that she took. If if later on down the line we see that she gets weak when she doesn't have her sword with her, that's just lame. I'm sorry, but I gotta draw the line somewhere when it comes to disbelief or or expanding your belief in comic books. I mean, that's just lame. I'm sorry. But it's the birds are willing to fight despite they're still weakened from the toxin that Poison Ivy gave them. Somebody mentions that Batman gave them a cure, but it's going to take a while for it to fully cycle through. So they're not at full 100% yet, but they're still willing to put up and fight, you know, to help their friend and everything, which is all well and good. And to me, my favorite part of the book was Starling's interrogation scene. Awesome stuff. This is one bitch you don't want to fuck with, and it's very, very nicely done. Awesome job from Mr. Swerzinski. Birds of Prey 13. Pick it up. Next up, Green Lantern New Guardians number 13. Damn you, Lori. Just fucking die, won't you? Yeah. Green Lantern New Guardians number 13. This is their tie-in to the Rise of the Third Army storyline. Tony Bedard is still doing his magic on here. It's nice to see that Kyle Rayner's origin and his some tragic moments of his history as a Green Lantern weren't tweaked hardly at all with this new 52 relaunching and everything. We still get to see how he became the Green Lantern and unfortunately what happened to a special someone in his past. I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Very nice of you, DC, to keep that intact in Kyle's history. Wow. But this is what this basically is. I'll try my best not to spoil it too much. But what this basically is Atrocitus training Kyle Rayner to master the power of rage. Since we now know that Kyle's ring can connect to the other emotional spectrums, such as, you know, hope and love, he's being trained for rage. And the way Atrocitus trains him, ooh boy, nice, pushing it, but nice. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And we get a very, very nice 2-page spread in the middle of the book, and the ending is kind of a nah shit kind of moment between Kyle and Carol Ferris. Yeah, is the stuff that he says to her. You know, you gotta feel for Kyle, because, you know, Carol denies that that's the whole truth as to why she's helping Kyle. But let's face it, it's kind of true, you know. I'm not gonna give that part away. But all in all, this was a great read. Not much to mention for the Rise of the Third Army, except for one moment, and it's one of those god damn it kind of moments. You know, this whole Third Army, it's like DC's trying to make them look impactful, but I feel like they need to do more to push our buttons and piss us off to where we're like kill these bastards and kill. They've already done it with the Guardians. We hate the Guardians now. The Guardians can go fuck themselves for all I care. But this was a fun read. I liked it, and just damn, you really got to feel for Kyle after what he's being put through. All right, last up for DC. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 13. Now this is going to shock you, but I thought this book was actually pretty good. However, the worst thing about it is the cover. This cover is absolute bullshit. Just pure bullshit. That Jason and the Outlaws are not at the mercy of Blackfire. That is a completely opposite interpretation of what goes on inside the book. Because in the book, I'm going to go ahead and spoil this. Starfire and Blackfire, Corey and Com, they actually work together. They're fighting side by side against their enemy. And it doesn't end well for Blackfire. And in a very odd twist, unlike the prior universe before, apparently here in the New 52, Star and Black, they actually get along. They love each other. I mean, Blackfire openly, kisses Starfire on the forehead and says how much she loves her, and how much she says that she wished that she would rule by her side on Tamaran. And while Starfire is, embracing her sister and showing that love back, Blackfire's thinking to herself in her mind is like, we have an upcoming battle ahead, and I know to win I probably, something like she would have to sacrifice her own flesh and blood, which she says she does not want to do. So in a unique twist, these two sisters actually get along and love each other, which is not what I grew up with from the Wolfman Perez stuff. But all in all, this was still a fun read. I actually like this. And another thing, fuck Arsenal. Arsenal, first of all, get rid of that stupid baseball cap. And second of all, Corey is not, quote-unquote, your girl. Starfire could be with, apparently, it was established in the very first issue of this series that Starfire can be with whoever she wants to be. She does not believe that she could be anybody's property. And for Arsenal to say, yeah, that's my girl. Arsenal, let me put it to you like this. Starfire is not your girl. You are her bitch. That's what I'm going to say. So, yeah, because Arsenal narrating the story, it really kind of hurt it for me, because fuck you, Arsenal. You are Starfire's bitch. Pure and simple. Alright, we're going to start off with Marvel here. This was a book that I didn't get last week because I didn't have any money. I didn't have enough money to get all of them. AvX Consequences #1. Kieran Gillen and Rainey work on this. Now, I will admit, this was actually not that bad. We get to see that Cyclops is in an undisclosed location. They're not, nowhere in the book does it say where he's at, where he's locked up. But in here, we also get to see a very good dialogue from Hope, that she does not know how to be normal. She now finally has a chance to be a normal child, and she doesn't know how. She doesn't know how to be normal. She was never taught or shown how to be normal. And I'm thinking to myself, that actually makes sense. She didn't grow up with a normal life. And it's actually really good. And the conversation between Cap and Logan was really good. And it ended on a whoa kind of cliffhanger, which brings us to AvX Consequences #2. Gillen and Kurth work on this. This picks up immediately where the last issue left off. Still got a few more minutes for the new episode of The Walking Dead comes on. Sorry for that. But wow, this is another book that could have been Pick of the Week worthy because of the beginning of the book. Scott and Logan in the visiting quarters of this undisclosed prison where Scott is at, and the bullshit that Scott spews from his throat hole just pisses me off. I'm like, Scott Summers, you fucking egotistical piece of shit. I mean, I said it on my Tumblr page. Scott Summers is the new Magneto. He is Magneto now. And it's just his attitude about how he's going to save mutant kind. And him and Logan talk about what happened to Charles. And Scott's like, I had to do what I had to do. When was killing Charles Xavier a vital part of restoring mutant kind? Why? What? How was that a part of it? Makes no sense. And Logan makes a discovery that Scott actually wants to be killed so he can be a martyr for the mutant race. Dear Marvel, Scott Summers is not Jesus Christ. You're actually writing this character to want to be killed so he can be declared a martyr and have his name and his legacy worshipped by new mutants who will be hunted and preyed and will become hunted prey anyway. What? What? It's I can't say no more. It's like that the dialogue, even though it pissed me off, it gripped me because and him pushing Logan's buttons by mentioning Jean and describing what the Phoenix. Oh, Scott Summers, you motherfucker. Moving on. Captain Marvel number 5. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Great job. Great job. This was great. Love that cover from Terry Dodson. That's just awesome. Yeah, some people could say that looks a little generic, but it's awesome. I like it. Rios is doing the artwork. Awesome job there. I actually don't mind that they moved from Soy to Rios. Rios' artwork is not quite as well as Soy's was, but I'm fine with it. It's still good. We get Carol and Helen working in the early 1960s, flying some planes around. The dialogue was just great. It was fun. We get to see Carol and Helen working together, breaking into a facility to steal parts of a machine because Helen got screwed out of a deal that she was promised on, and she's like, okay, they stole this artifact from me that gave me this bargain, so we're gonna steal it right back. And it was great stuff. This was pure fun. I loved every bit of it. It was great. I like the way this series is progressing. I'll admit, when it first got started, I felt like it was going a little bit slow, but I do like the pacing. The pacing as well. The dialogue is great. The artwork is really, really well done. I'd say stick with this if you started this, or if you haven't. It's not too late to get the back issues and get onto the board with this series. It's fun. I put it right up there on par with series like Scarlet Spider and stuff like that. This was fun. I loved every bit of it. Very, very good job. Kelly, Miss DeConnick, my hat's off to you, young lady. Great, great job. Alright. All these books were really good. Some of them had flaws, and some of them were just fun, and I loved it. But here's my pick of the week. Pick of the week is XFactor 245. This is day 5 of Breaking Point's Peter David. God damn it, I still love your stuff. Still one of the best X-Men related titles on the shelf. No slouch. Hey Chris, I know you're watching. I got you hooked on that line, didn't I? Yeah, Peter David is no slouch when it comes to this stuff. This is his baby. I mean, Marvel, please, please, for the love of God, never, ever take Peter David away from XFactor. This is great stuff. It's just the stuff in here. The main story is, Madrox is pissed that Teresa left, and he's blaming Alex for it, and he believes that ever since Alex and Lorna showed up, things have just gone to shit. He's kind of right. Things did start going to shit when they showed up, but it's not really their fault. I personally believe this shit still would have happened if Alex and Lorna hadn't have showed up. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I think the storytelling is still going very, very well. The comedic points are still right on the mark, still funny as hell. I still love Monet. I think Monet may have a little bit too much power, but I love her character. She's great. The stuff with Madrox and Layla, I don't know what to say about that moment. Wow. I kind of chuckle a little bit just thinking about that. But it mainly focuses on Alex and Lorna, and Alex believes that it's time for him to go and do something else. What this basically is leading up to is that he's going to be going toward Uncanny Avengers. I think this took place before Uncanny Avengers #1. It makes sense because of what Alex does in here. Just good stuff. I loved every page. Great stuff. I actually looked for a flaw in here, and I don't believe I found one. You know, I may be over-exaggerating, but it's still awesome stuff from Marvel. God, great stuff. I'm nerding out too much. Let's end this with Venom number 26. This is part 3 of Minimum Carnage, and I'm going to say the same thing about this that I've been saying about Scarlet Spider. Fun. This was fun. An enjoyable read. I love the way this story is progressing. We got Venom, Carnage, and Scarlet Spider in the microverse. The people who are working with Venom clearly make it apparent that they don't want him there. Scarlet Spider is still confused, doesn't know where the fuck he is. He's not being a good sport about it. And Carnage is still just badass evil. Badass evil. Carnage is win. Put that in the comments section. Carnage is win. And this was fun. I loved it. There's a spontaneous losing of control with Venom and with Flash and the Venom symbiote, and things ain't going so well for Kane at the end of the book. Let's just leave it at that. Awesome stuff. Cullen Bunn is actually doing a great job. A lot of people warned me that this series would go to shit once Rick Remender left, but I have yet to really actually complain bad enough to the point where I'm done with it. I mean, yeah, the Monsters from Hell shit kind of pushed my buttons, but I've stuck with it, and I'm loving this Minimum Carnage stuff, and I think you would too. This was fun. I loved it. It's great stuff, and I can't wait for the next part. Pure and simple. Alright, that's all I got for this week, everybody. Sorry if it's a little bit tardy, but I've been real busy here lately. I've had a real busy few days and weekend. Homework's piling up, but I do my best to get these out to you. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my Blugoblin X channel. I just posted a tribute video to Batwoman with a little help from my special friend on Tumblr. Check out my student's reviews, TheMtVernonKid, and he's still knocking it out of the park. I bump fist for you, man. Yeah, and follow me on Twitter or on Tumblr. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see you later.